I'm gonna talk about something. I had something else that I was gonna talk about, and I thought about a different story. But I saw something today when I was in the parent pickup line, and I felt like, it was like a microcosm of life. When I saw that happen, I was like, man, I cannot not talk about that. But it was so like we're in the parent pickup line, and like the way like you leave my daughter's school, if you're not the first car, or if you're not like some cars back, you can't really see the turn that way. And it was another car, like the first car was stopped, and the police officer that does the traffic, he had people stop and was guiding it. But usually when you leave the school, you can't take left turns, so the traffic just flows to the right. So the car that was behind the first car, who couldn't see out, was just so impatient. You could kind of, from being the car back, you can like see in the cars, you can see them looking, trying to do all that stuff, getting frustrated. And literally, man, they let 2 seconds of being impatient. They whip from behind the car, going around, trying to give that car the look, like you don't know how to drive your car. And literally, as they whip out, gratefully, that bus driver has like the reaction time of like a NASCAR driver. You might be doing the wrong thing, but it's a bus driver shortage, so like don't stop driving buses, like they hit you.
Shout out to the bus driver. We don't pass speed.
Yeah, but like literally the car whipped out, man, and it was like a little Camry, a little red Camry too.
Dang,
it whipped out, and literally that bus was coming in. And you see the bus had to like hit the brakes, and it couldn't like jam the brakes because they have the big air brakes, so it would slide anyway. So the bus driver was able to whip it. The other car had to like whip in between, go up on the grass, and like literally, gratefully nobody was hurt. But like man, like that, like just sitting back there, like watching it, it was like I said, a microcosm of life. Like man, like so many times people will go through, and they'll let I'm gonna tie in the logo. They'll let 2 seconds of suffering like make them just rebel, make them give up on everything, make them get impatient, like, oh, why me, why is that, like I gotta get right to it right now, like I ain't got time, like time ain't on my side, I need it now. And they'll settle for a fraction of everything that was really in store for them, or they'll give up everything trying to get just like those 2 seconds to wait for that bus to turn in. Wasn't like you weren't gonna get home no faster. You was gonna ride around the corner and still get stopped at the red light.
Go home.
Oh yeah.
But you speaking the truth.
Yeah, but like don't let. And like I said, like when I was sitting there and I was watching it, and it was like wow. Like, one, I was just happy like no one was hurt, but then also when I was just sitting back and really thinking of it, like like that lady who was in front of me, like her kid was in the car. All I can think about is like, I'm here to actually pick up my daughter. My daughter's in the car. Like, you let 2 seconds, like, 2 seconds of you being impatient, you were gonna, like someone else was gonna pay the total price. That bus driver waited their turn and was just waiting to turn in. And they waited in their long line as well. And, they didn't know that was about to happen. Like these kids, these other cars, like what if that bus driver couldn't get it because there's still another line that comes in and they turn too much and now they go hit 3 other cars, people who was just sitting there waiting their turn. Like, for as big as we think we are, man, life is like bigger than us. Like don't let 2 seconds, like don't let your 2 seconds of being impatient create a lifetime of hurt for someone else, create a lifetime of hurt for you. Like, chill. Like, like don't let
be fine with this.
You don't want to go out that way. Like, like, and in the grand scheme of things, you're gonna always sit back and realize like it ain't worth it. It's not. Like, it's not worth it for potentially something to go wrong with your child. Potentially for something to go wrong with you. Potentially for that cop who was standing in the middle of the traffic, something gets hit and the car come hit him, and you don't know what you're affecting down the road. He has a wife at home. He has kids at home. Or he has a lover at home. Like he has his own life outside of that.
Trickle down effect.
And you don't know who you're impacting. And like, you can't be, I'm gonna call it what it is, like you can't be that selfish to think that your time is the most valuable, that you have to get it when. Because you know what? Like, how we talk, like you said it before, you gotta be careful what you ask for, God to give it to you. Like, oh, okay, you in a rush?
It was a male or female driver?
It was a lady.
She peed on herself.
Yeah. I did, and I was going back. I said, oh Lord, I grabbed my bag. Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? For real. But that may be what she needed to understand patience.
Yeah, I hope.
Yes, I hope too. I hope that was a lesson, because it had to be a lesson. You got your kid in the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That part would have shocked me. Like, oh, I'm definitely, like you said, being selfish what I'm saying? I'm impatient. It would have made me understand, like, look who I got right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My kid right here. So what's more important? You know what I'm saying? Maybe next time she'll be in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
She'll be waiting all the time. I'll take your time.
She can be waiting with me.